Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the January 19th, 2010 City Council meeting. Roll call, please.
Alderman Needham.
Present.
Alderman Larson.
Present.
Alderman Rivera.
Present.
Alderman Cunningham.
Present.
Alderman Conken.
Present.
Alderman Moiseo.
Present.
Alderman Figueroa.
Present.
Alderman Newsom.
Present.
Alderman Tempest.
All present and accounted for. Thank you. Could we rise for a moment of silence, please? Thank you. Join me in the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right. We will be going into executive session this evening. That will come after the alderman's time, so that the meeting can be basically concluded and the audience will be able to leave at that time. Under Mayor's comments, I have a few items I'd like to address. First is that the Jackson Street resurfacing project was bid as of January 15th at an IDOT letting. The low bidder was Peter Baker and Son in the amount of $913,124.50. The estimate was $1,077,191, so we did well on that. Illinois Open Meetings Act training will be held on January 26th at 7:30 p.m. in our council chambers. Our council, as well as the Development Commission, Renaissance Commission, Police Pension Board, Civil Service, Historic Preservation, Zoning Commission, 9/11 Board, Board of Local Improvements, Development Review Board, and the Code Enforcement Review Board are all encouraged to attend. It will be staffed by Janelle Christensen from the State's Attorney's Office. If you have not done so, please respond before the 22nd so that the necessary materials can be acquired and made available to everyone. I have sent out letters of invitation to each of the aldermen and a large number of other civic and business leaders to participate in a tour of 2 charter schools located in Chicago. The tour is taking place on Thursday, January 28th and Thursday, February 4th. The buses will leave from City Hall at 8 a.m. and leave from Chicago to return to Waukegan by 2 o'clock following the tours. For those of you that have not seen a charter school, I would encourage you to find the time to attend and see firsthand what the atmosphere in these facilities is like. With our own school district now revisiting this issue, I feel everyone should get a sense of how charter schools operate, how they are funded, and how they can impact the lives of the students that might attend, as well as how they affect the quality of life of the neighborhoods they are situated in. State Representative Eddie Washington has obtained $300,000 for the repair of Pershing Road, and the city will be using it to make the road safe and passable and to begin the process of dealing with the chronic flooding that has occurred down there year after year. We want to thank him for his efforts on behalf of the people of Waukegan. I believe that Representative Washington is here. Eddie, would you like to make a quick comment on the money that you obtained for the city?
Yes, sir. I'd just like to say it.
Why don't you come up to the podium, please? Thank you.
I'm so used to standing in my seat talking. Good evening, everyone. To this honorable, distinguished body of people that I'm talking with, I just want you to know it's a pleasure and it's an honor to get any kind of resources to our city to aid you in what you're trying to do. So I thank you for giving me the opportunity to do so. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. We appreciate the largesse and the hard work that went in getting it. Senator Terry Link notified my office several months ago that $500,000 will come to the city towards our Carnegie Library preservation efforts once the state issues the necessary bonds. We're waiting to hear back from his staff regarding this funding. Once it has been released, I will notify the council. I recently received a letter from the Illinois Housing Development Authority notifying me that the Affordable Housing Corporation of Lake County has applied for programming funds for rental assistance for units that house eligible Illinois residents which are at 30% of the area median income or lower. This letter was forwarded to each of the councilmen, and I look forward to their input on this. If the majority here is opposed to this, I will notify IDA that we do not support this effort and ask them not to target Waukegan as part of this program. I have asked Alderman Conken to serve as our military affairs liaison, and he has agreed to do so. That will mean attending events on behalf of the city at Great Lakes and Fort Sheridan, as well as occasionally working with the Waukegan branch of the Department of Veterans Affairs when they need assistance from the city of Waukegan. I visited Robert Morris University in Chicago last week, and I was able to get a look at the designs that the students are working on for our 2 Genesee Street locations, the old CD recyclery and the Henderson's jewelry store right next to it. I saw a great deal of effort and imagination in the work, and I'm very excited to see the final products. The design phase of the competition will end in 5 weeks, at which time a panel of jurors will pick the best project. We will display the designs in the lobby of the Genesee Theater in the City Hall for several weeks as we work our way towards a way of actually turning the designs into a real development. The code enforcement effort on 10th Street has been completed, and we will begin the process sending out notices of violations to the property owners over the next week. This is the first step at that location, and along with Genesee Street, that will lead us to a philosophy that holds property owners and businesses accountable for maintaining their buildings and for businesses to follow our regulations regarding the general appearance of their operation. You can bet that property owners in Lake Bluff, Lake Forest, and Highland Park are not allowed to turn a blind eye to the appearance, safety, and marketability of their buildings and businesses, and we should demand they follow the standards that we already have in place and have not enforced for many years. That concludes my comments. At this time, we have members of the audience who would like to speak. First up is Mr. Chris Blanks, 409 Oak Street. And Chris, we will be holding you to 3 minutes this evening. We're going to be using timers from now on.
It won't even take that long. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. What I wanted to mention, Brother Blanks, 409 Oak Street, Waukegan. There was a young lady who came before the council. And first of all, let me say this is by no means of me endorsing or promoting the military at this point or that situation. But we had a Master Sergeant, Sean Gibson, who came before and that was honored. However, there was a resolution that was extended to her. However, it was taken back, okay, and there was supposed to have been some corrections made on it, and she was supposed to get it back. So I'm hoping that someone can tell us at this time what is the status of her receiving that resolution. And also, I'd like to make mention of the fact that, you know, when we had other veterans that came before the council that was honored and everything, it was aired as to where, you know, the citizens had an opportunity to see who was being honored. And with this situation, I'd like to know what happened with the fact, because I think it gives our, you know, definitely our African-American community, especially her being a female, definitely a great sense of honor and pride for that to be viewed, you know, within the city council to be aired like it was with the other veterans. So we'd like to know what happened and why that was not aired, because I know with the other veterans it was aired like twice, as to where hers wasn't aired at all. And the fact that she still have not got she still haven't received the resolution which was extended to her. Last but not least, also I wanted to make mention of the fact, one other thing. Citizens wanted to know what has been done or taken place to assure that what happened with Miss Anna East Lindsay, that doesn't happen again. I know we've talked about it, but I know some of the citizens was concerned in making sure that that type of thing don't happen. What have been put in place, what measures to make sure that doesn't happen again?
Chris, give me a call tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll go over all of it.
Okay, but what?
I don't know what happened with the decree.
I never saw
Wayne
it.
and I will.
Say it again.
I never saw it. No
So-
one gave it back to me,
What's that?
the resolution.
Dave, your son, Dave has it.
The county's resolution was incorrect.
No, the county is in.
Oh, the county, so it was, okay.
Oh.
Because there was two that was given, right?
Right,
The-
that was correct.
Okay, and she has that one?
The county one was.
Oh, the county.
Okay.
Okay, all right, thank you.
The other stuff, give me a call.
All right, thank you.
All right, we'll go over it.
I was informed by, county resolution was revised and delivered to her.
Yeah.
The county's
The next day.
resolution,
She said she had received
It was delivered the next day. Matter of fact, my mom personally took it over to Sugar Love.
because I talked to her like a couple days ago.
My mom personally took it over to Sugar Love.
Okay, well, let's go on. All right, thanks. Chris, why don't you follow up with her and check to see what the status is as of tomorrow? Okay. All right, please do. Thank you very much. Ms. Joyce Evans, 829 North McAllister.
Good
Ms.
evening.
Evans.
First of all, you don't know how serious a problem is until you live in it. In the past, we've had a lot of problem with loud music, and I'm just here tonight to thank Chief Yancey before he was even chief, and the police department for giving us back our community. I want to thank you. And not only was it just on the Southwest, the whole city of Waukegan, Zion even had a problem. They asked me to come up there because they were having serious problems. Loud music is really serious when you have to live in it 24/24. And again, I want to thank the Waukegan Police Department and Chief Yancey for that. Number two is, I'd like to know what is the reason for city cars to go home after city hours. The reason I'm asking this question because in the past, employees used to come to work, get the city car, do their job, leave the city car here, and get back in their own car and go home. I see city cars in Zion this past weekend, last weekend, they're at Aldi's, they're in North Chicago, they're all over, and I would like to know what is the purpose of this and why are we paying for it and who's paying for their gas?
Did you get numbers off the cars?
This last car, after I started seeing so many of them, then I got this last number.
Leave that with us,
Okay,
and we'll get back in touch with you.
okay, last but not least, liquor license. Why are there being so many saloons and liquor places open in Waukegan? The police already have enough problems without more liquor license and taverns. I want you to think about it. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. Ms. Patty Penn?
Good evening. First of all, I want to thank the committee for all your attention to our cause, taking your time for 2 weeks to review this. I am hoping so much. I'm going to make it very brief. I am here asking you to grant our license for the reason that we need the business desperately at the plaza. We are upgrading our plaza. We wanted to go back to where it was when my dad built it. We have planted over 500 trees. I've been out there at 11 o'clock at night myself, planting with Lisa. We have planted 2,000 bulbs. This place is going to be beautiful. Help me. Let us have the revenue to continue to beautify our little tiny section of Waukegan. And as you know, when you plant a seed, it grows. And this seed of growing and bringing beauty back to the Waukegan Plaza, where people can go, where it is safe, where it is bright and light, where people can go in the day and the night. We have had arrests. Lisa goes out and she arrests people if they are doing drugs, doing any kind of thing on our plaza. We're in court with them. Nothing goes on out there without our vision. We're out there 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. We need this revenue. We want to welcome the Armanetti people into our family and into our city. I beg you, no matter what, if you're on the fence, I just ask you, vote yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Penn. Appreciate that. Lisa Bersky? Bertsky? I'm sorry. I apologize. Please correct me when you get up there so I can, yeah,
I'm used to it.
okay.
I'm called worse. All around the globe today, there's
Yeah, address, please.
2404 West Glen Flora Avenue, Waukegan, Illinois.
West what? I'm sorry.
Glen Flora.
Glen Flora, okay.
Okay?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. All around the globe today, there's a fiscal crisis. It is unedible, it's an undeniable fact. Many speculate, if not confirmed, the mostly due to inadequate or even the disappearance of employment opportunities. Of course, on the grand scale of the globe, they're mainly speaking of industries, production, import, and export, and failing infrastructures worldwide. My point is this: on the grand scale over decision, after tonight, we'll have little to no impact on the world economy. But keep in mind that it's not what we're here to change. However, we are here to do our part, and our part is this: build our community. Create employee opportunities, which Armanetti's will, approximately 20 of them to be more accurate. Generate revenue. With additional taxes and charges applied to businesses carrying a liquor license, this is an inevitable source of income towards the city. Then there's the ever so important task of supplying the needs or wants of the community. It goes out of doubt that a store or establishment of supplying the needs, Waukegan has a great opportunity to be successful in distribution of alcohol. The proof is in the history. We are all part of this community, and liquor sales is nothing new to us. However, an establishment such as this would be refreshing. It will offer an established name to our community, which will draw attention for other larger name companies. For example, the Walmart built in Fountain Square. It's no surprise that the same store built close to each other throughout the country. Was the Fountain Square setup much different than the already existing setup 4 miles away in Gurnee? Or the one in Zion? No, it isn't, and that's the point. Nobody said, well, we already have a Walmart, so close by, a Walmart will put smaller stores out of business? Of course not. Instead, it was more like Waukegan will have a Walmart. Waukegan will generate employment opportunities for them. Waukegan will generate tax revenue from this. In the big picture, the purpose was to expand Waukegan economic growth, and it was achieved by the addition of a huge name attracting other big businesses. So I asked, why are we stopping? Why not? Why not encourage an established business to join our beautiful city? They're not new to us. We all remember them on Belvedere Road in Park City, don't we? The discount prices, the large variety of imported wines, friendly service. Did we argue then? No. No one is arguing the opening of 2 new liquor stores that just opened in Waukegan. Waukegan Liquors at 2728 Belvedere. The Blockbuster store that closed right next to International House of Pancakes, and then Big Daddy's at 2811 Grand Avenue, right across the street from the Field House. Would Waukegan Liquors and Big Daddy's not have the same negative effects you claim Armanetti's would with the other establishments? What's the difference? Did the attraction from the Field House not encourage the development of that whole strip right across the street?
I'm sorry to I really apologize, but we've gone over the 3-minute mark, which I was going to hold everybody to, so I do apologize for cutting you short here, but we do
That's fine.
appreciate your comments. Thank you very much. Mr. Vincent Trunzo, 1 Dorset Circle, Hawthorne Woods.
First of all, I'd just like to thank you, Mayor and Aldermen, the council, for giving us the opportunity last meeting to be able to present our company to you. I think we have a wonderful business model. I know that there are some concerns amongst the variety of aldermen that are sitting here tonight, and I just ask, again, that you give us some consideration. We think we have a great business model that would be wonderful to place into the city of Waukegan. We are expanding at a pretty good clip. We just opened our most recent store in Shorewood, and Elgin will be our next venture. Both of those cities welcomed us with open arms, and those are the first in their cities of our caliber of store. So, again, I'm just asking that this evening. I know later this evening there will be a vote on this license and allowing us to join your city. I'm just asking, obviously, for a favorable vote this evening, and I just would be available if there are any other questions that I can answer. I'll be here in the audience. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments. That concludes the public comment portion of the meeting. We'll take a motion to accept the minutes by Alderman Conken, seconded by Alderman Newsom. All in favor?
Point of order,
Yes, sir, Alderman.
Mayor. I like the changes in regards to who seconded the motion for a holdover. It was I who seconded it, not Alderman Figueroa.
Okay.
I want, if you could change that, and the reason why I seconded it was, again, to give the other alderman an opportunity to look into this issue. So it was only fair to second it, so I want to make sure that it goes on record.
Alderman, I
seconded it.
changed that after our conversation. I neglected to change
I know
on
we
that.
did, but I don't see it on
It's
paper.
changed, okay,
I don't see it on paper,
Okay.
and that's why I'm bringing it up.
okay.
So the people can also see that it was seconded, to give an opportunity to the alderman to look
Thank you,
into this
Alderman.
issue.
The changes have been noted, and we certainly will make sure that it's reflected in the public record of the meeting. Again, motion to accept the minutes by Alderman Conken, seconded by Alderman Newsom. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None opposed? Minutes are accepted. Do we have any resolutions or proclamations? We have none. Committee reports and motions. Finance Committee, Alderman Needham.
Well, he corrected them already.
I'm sorry.
Just for a point of clarification,
Yes, Alderman.
do you want to read the motion as it is on the council agenda, or do you want me to read it as a finance?
Is there a substantial difference?
No, but it just has a motion. It would be coming out of committee. The Finance Committee recommends, and I so move, that the City Council approve a waiver of the bid process and allow the expansion of the digital filing system from Loris Technologies at a cost not to exceed $99,000. It's basically the same thing, but it goes through the committee motions.
Sure. Well, we have a motion by Alderman Needham, seconded by Alderman Tempest, to recommend the City Council approve the waiver of bid process and allow the expansion of the digital filing system from Loris Technologies at a cost not to exceed $99,000. Roll call, please.
Alderman Needham.
Aye.
Alderman Larson.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Figueroa.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Under Public Works Committee, Alderman Rivera. Item A, which is a motion by Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Cunningham, to request permission to draft specifications and advertise for bids for following items needed for Public Works. Alderman Rivera.
Thank you, Your Honor. If I can put in a motion for an omnibus vote, if any of the other aldermen have any questions in regards to the items that are presented.
I'm sorry, who made the motion?
Cunningham?
Motion by Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Cunningham. To use the omnibus to combine under Public Works Committee items A, B, C, and D, Alderman?
Yes, sir.
That is correct. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, then we have the, would you like to go through them, or
I can go through them if you want.
just very briefly, if you prefer?
Very briefly. Item A, motion, of course, we had by Alderman Cunningham, seconded by Alderman Conklin, to request permission to draft specifications and advertise for bids for the following items needed for Public Works, such as the item 1, manhole and drainage castings, 2, street sweeper brooms, 3, 2010/2011 annual materials. Those are materials such as sand, gravel, concrete. Item 4, 2010 drainage maintenance contract. Item 5, 2010 mowing contract. Item B, motion by Alderman Newsom, seconded by Alderman Cunningham, to draft an ordinance allowing the city to charge homeowners $7 per recycle bin as presented. Revised proposed ordinance to reflect residents that bring in broken bins can receive the free replacement. Just to briefly explain that a little more, Veolia doesn't pay for these bins. It's all they are is to pay to pick up these bins. We, the city, pay for these bins, and we're paying up to close to $10,000 a year in paying these bins. We're doing this to recover some of our costs. Obviously, if you have a broken bin, you can bring the broken bin in. It's the 18-gallon bin, and you can get a new one. One of the questions that's being asked, how are we going to do this as far as the collection is? Public Works is not going to collect the money. I'd like to see if they can get a receipt from the city clerk's office to pay for this, get a receipt, and then take it over to Public Works to get their new bin. That's a way that we can do this.
That would be done through the collector's office.
Or the collector's office. That's fine. But again, if they want an extra one, they'll have to pay $7 for it. Item C, motion by Alderman Cunningham, seconded by Alderman Mozio, to waive bid procedure and accept both of the quotes for the street sweeper repairs that are needed for the total cost not to exceed $14,000 as presented. Standard Equipment of Chicago, Illinois for the Elgin sweeper, which is $8,000, and RG Equipment Company of Des Plaines, Illinois for the Johnston sweeper. That's $6,000. Item D, motion by Alderman Cunningham, seconded by Alderman Conken, to draft specifications and advertise for bids for the miscellaneous materials for the water department as presented. Of course, 2010-2011 chemicals. In the packets, all the aldermen will have the name of the chemicals. Item 2, water meters. Item 3, fire hydrants. And item 4, copper horns.
Thank you, Alderman. Since this is now an omnibus vote, we have the motion to approve under the omnibus by Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Cunningham. Roll call, please.
This is to include everything under the omnibus?
Include
Are we
under
voting-
items A through D under the Public Works Committee.
Okay, I just want to make one comment.
Point of
Yes, sir,
clarification.
Alderman.
Is this to vote on the items? Or
Yes, it is.
Okay, well, I just want to make one comment.
Please.
I'm not opposed to charging the $7. We need to recover it. It's tough enough, and I remember when we first started recycling in the city 30-some years ago. It was tough enough to get the people to recycle. We have to figure out some way to get somebody to sponsor the bins. Maybe we can get somebody to sponsor the bins. But it's what I usually do is people would complain that they have overflowing garbage. I would go to Public Works. I'd pick up the bin, not pay for it, just pick up a couple bins, go to their house and show them how to recycle, convince them to recycle, and so their garbage wouldn't be overflowing. I'd like to figure out some way that we could continue to recover the cost of the bins and still encourage people to recycle, encourage more people to recycle. $7 is not that much of a cost, but it's I'm voting for it, but I'd like to figure out with Public Works Committee somehow a way that we can encourage more people to recycle and fray the cost of $7. But
Thank you,
I just want to
Alderman
make that
Figueroa.
comment.
Alderman Cunningham.
I think there needs some clarity on exactly what, when we talk about recycling. One of this issue did come up in committee. What was said is if there was a damaged bin, legitimate damaged bin, broken, and I think Public Works, Tom and his team could determine what's damaged, what's not. That particular bin will not be at a cost to the resident. What we're suggesting is some people like to have multiple bins, and if you want multiple bins or you just want an extra bin, then that's when the cost factor will come in. So this is not from a replacement standpoint where that bin has been damaged and determined damage by Tom Haggerty's team, then yes, that is at no cost to the resident. If you just want a second bin, then that's where the cost has been incurred by the city of Waukegan, and why should the taxpaying citizens pay for some because you want a second bin? You know, at $7 and overtime, it's just a cost factor. So that's where we're talking about how that process will work. And hopefully that does alleviate some of the questions or concerns you may have. But overflowing simply means that you need an extra bin. If you need an extra bin, then just like our garbage can right now, what is it, $20, $15, what is it, Ray, $25 for extra garbage can? If you want an extra can?
Alderman Cunningham, Corporation Counsel would like to clarify something here, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, just the same way as we buy for an extra bin. Go ahead, I guess you have some questions or
Well,
comment?
the motion, Alderman, that's on the agenda doesn't explain, as you just did, that this charge is for additional bins, that the charge is not for the original bin. The way it reads, it looks like it's for all bins.
All bins.
So I would think that it would probably be in order to have an amendment to this particular motion and to remove it probably from the omnibus and then do it that way.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, that is, Mr. Chairman, that is what we established in. Okay, all right, then if that's the case, let's do it that way. so there's
Motion
no
by
confusion.
Alderman Cunningham, seconded by Alderman Figueroa to remove item, where are we at? Item C. B, I'm sorry, from the omnibus vote, and it will be taken as a second vote and to be amended. So the items that we're working under the omnibus vote are A, C, and D. I've called the motions by Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Cunningham, and a roll call, please, on those three items.
Alderman Needham.
Aye.
Alderman Larson.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken. Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Figueroa.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom. Alderman Tempest.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Then we'll go back to item B, which will take a motion by Alderman Cunningham, seconded by, I'm sorry, somebody's pointing.
Alderman
Well, we
Rivera.
can do
Motion
Alderman Rivera.
second by Alderman
since
Cunningham.
That's fine. Alderman Cunningham second, but Sam, since you brought it up, I thought I'd give you the courtesy of getting the motion on that one. To amend item B to state that we'll charge homeowners $7 per extra recycling bin. Would that be sufficient?
Extra or additional, Tom?
Or additional?
I said additional.
If they
Yeah.
lost it, they'd have to pay for it.
If they lost it, yeah.
Or if they can't produce the original broken one, they would have to pay.
Well, how about this, if we state additional, not replacement?
There it is. There you go. That's why you're the mayor.
Well, sometimes I wonder about that. Okay, so the motion will be as motion by Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Cunningham, to draft the ordinance that will allow the city to charge homeowners $7 per additional, not replacement recycling bin as presented. Revised proposed ordinance to reflect residents that bring in broken bins. They can receive a free replacement. It does actually say it, but that's fine. We've gone through this whole exercise. Let's vote. Roll call, please.
Alderman Needham.
Aye.
Alderman Larson.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken. Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Figueroa.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
I'm sorry, Alderman Moiseo, what was your vote again?
Aye.
Oh, thank you. Ayes have it. Thank you very much. Before we go ahead.
That was the vote to amend. We now have to have the vote to approve.
Okay. Motion by Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Cunningham, to approve the drafting of an ordinance that allows the city to charge homeowners $7 per recycling bin that are additional, not replacement, as presented, to revise the proposed ordinance to reflect residents that bring in broken bins. They can receive the free replacement. Roll call, please.
Alderman Needham.
Aye.
Alderman Larson. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken. Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Figueroa.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Before we go to old business, I would like to read something very quickly into the record. Ms. Migelski has been working on our financial review for the second fiscal quarter ending October 31st, 2009. And I think it's important that everybody hears this, because this is one of the reasons why I was working so hard to bring one smaller business to Waukegan. But I think this needs to be heard and said tonight. The city's operations are funded through a variety of taxes, user fees, and intergovernmental revenues, service charges, and other financial sources. In total, the city reached 50%, or $55.3 million, of its total revenue budget of $109.6 million. The budget called for just over $60.1 million in tax revenues for the fiscal year, of which $34.2 million, or 57%, have been collected year to date. Permits, licenses, fees, and fines have a total budget for the fiscal year of $26.9 million. To date, 46%, or $12.3 million, have been collected. Intergovernmental revenues are 32% collected as of October 31st at $2.4 million of the budgeted $7.5 million. Sales, services, and rentals, total budget for the year is $10.7 million, and 54% collected at the end of the second fiscal quarter at $5.7 million. Lastly, other financing sources budget of $4.4 million is 15% collected for a total of $674,000. Compared to the prior year, the city's overall revenue collections are down 6%, or $3.8 million. Taxes have an unfavorable variance compared to the same period last fiscal year of -4%, or a total of $1.3 million. Likewise, permits, licenses, fees, and fines have declined 10% compared to the last fiscal year, down $1.4 million. Intergovernmental revenue is down $720,000, or 23%. Sales, services, and rentals are up slightly, 2%, or $95,000 higher in collections at October 31st. Lastly, other financing sources have declined $415,000, or 38%, compared to the same prior year. This is a trend that is not stopping. This is the trend that speaks to why we must take in every potential economic development that can do no proven harm to the neighborhoods or the city of Waukegan. I could understand why some people would have opposed me, and I would never have brought it to you if it was a business I thought would harm the people in any way. I wouldn't have brought it forward. But I felt that this was something that the city of Waukegan does not have. It is something that would bring in new potential revenue. It's no guarantee, and there is no such thing as a guarantee of new revenue. But you have to have the opportunity for it. And I think this is one of those opportunities. Wendy Beschel has been working very, very hard down in our licensing department, and she has found that there are hundreds of businesses in this city that have not paid their business licenses. This is an awful lot of money to have lost over the years. Now, thankfully, we have someone who's a real warrior and is going after this money, and we appreciate the hard work that she's putting in, but it speaks to our financial condition. We are not in good straits. That is why at every opportunity I will bring to the city development and business that I think will do two things: add to our revenues and add to the community's attractiveness to those that shop usually in other places and that might be looking for an opportunity to buy the type of product that the license is before us tonight. I have had a number of people approach me and say they have to go to Highwood to buy the wines they're looking for. We've had a city employee search all over Waukegan Christmas Eve looking for a bottle of creme de menthe. And he did find one tucked away on the back of a shelf, but you shouldn't have to work that hard to find what you need. This is kind of a specialty house that we are looking at here tonight. This is not your normal two-employee mom-and-pop liquor store. And a lot has been made about the issue of protecting the mom-and-pop businesses in Waukegan. But we have to be careful that we don't turn off the development spigot to this community by doing that. If we have a mom-and-pop that employs 2 and we can bring in a business that employs 20 and can generate 10 times the revenue and hopefully grow over the years, I think we need to look at it and give it the opportunity to succeed in this business climate. So, item 7 under old business, we had a motion by Alderman Larson, seconded as corrected by Alderman Rivera, to hold over the motion amending Chapter 3 of the Municipal Code entitled Alcoholic Beverages by adding a Class W license. At this point, I would take the motion by Alderman Larson
So moved.
to approve, seconded by Alderman
Here, Your Honor.
Bring it out of,
Figueroa.
take it off of hold.
I'm sorry.
So the motion would be to take it off of hold.
To
and
take it
move
off the
forward
hold
on
and
the-
bring it forward for a vote. Correct?
Point of order.
Yes, sir, Alderman.
I thought there was a motion on the floor before that was held over. That should be the motion before us.
That's right, it says held over.
Yeah, it was held over, that's why, yeah.
Who made the motion before?
It was Larson.
May I speak briefly to this issue? Technically, under the ordinances, a request to hold over is not a motion. It's a request by an alderman to hold something over, and it does not need to be seconded. Every alderman up here has that power to request that it be held over for 2 weeks, and it's automatically done. So then the motion just automatically comes back on the agenda 2 weeks later.
That's what I'm saying.
So who made the original motion?
Do we have the record on who made the original motion?
No, just call for the vote.
We just call for it. Well, I think at this point, instead of worrying and going back and forth and trying to discover all of that, what we'll do is we'll call for a roll call vote. Alderman Figueroa.
Yes, Your Honor, before we call for a roll call for the vote on this, I'd like to make a couple comments that we voted on this council, we voted in the past for the big retailers such as Home Depot and Target and Walmart and some of the other big retailers. And we're always looking at protecting the mom and pop, but in this case, we're looking at another large retailer. One of the things we have to look at, and it has been mentioned before, is Lewis Avenue is an artery of commuters going between Wisconsin and jobs to the south. Excuse me. A lot of traffic goes down Green Bay Road, Lewis Avenue, and Sheridan Road for the people that live up in Wisconsin. That's one resource of revenues that we need to be looking at. A lot of people come down here, they work, I'd like for them to spend some of their money. Another point is strip malls are coming back. And for us to, and I remember when that strip mall, I'm dating myself, was originally constructed, was that in the early 50s? Early 50s. And strip malls are coming back. You see them out at Fountain Square, you see them throughout the city, you see them in other areas. I think this would be a cornerstone for that strip mall. I used to be a gold standard liquor there that I used to go to get one particular brand, and I'm not a big drinker, just one brand. I'd tell you, I've got bottles of stuff at home I haven't touched, but I just want to clarify that. I'm not a big drinker, but you know, on occasion, wine is certainly part of what we open at for special occasions. And for the Wisconsinites, if we can put some cheese on there too, it certainly attract a lot of business. I'm looking at this as a development cornerstone for that strip mall, and that's why I'm voting, because I think we need to bring back businesses to Waukegan, and this will do it. I just wanted to make those points, Your Honor.
Thank you, Alderman Figueroa. Do we have any other comments? Roll call, please. Oh, one moment, please.
I think just because we're a little confused about who made the motion, it might not hurt, Mayor, to call for someone to remake the motion, re-second it, and then vote on it.
That's fine. Alderman Moiseo, would you like to make the motion? Sure. We'll take the second from Alderman Cunningham, and to approve. Roll call, please.
Alderman Needham.
No.
Alderman Larson.
I want to make my comments on this one. Originally, and in talking to the representatives from Armanetti's, I was in favor of this. However, I'm voting no now. This is something that I've taken a lot of time to study. It's clear to me that a liquor license, and I've stated this before, is a tool for development. And I would be open to an Armanetti's in another location that would be less congested with existing businesses that do provide a good service to the people in the area. An example is the Super Fresh Market across the street. This weekend, I took the opportunity with Alderman Tempest to visit that store. I've talked to the people from Roadies and other liquor operations who have contacted me. I've talked to liquor distributors who sell to the area merchants. There's been a lot of money invested in upgrading the opportunities to buy packaged liquors at the stores in this area, including Superfresh. I was, quite frankly, amazed by the extent of their wine selection. And with that in mind, I do feel that adding another franchise operation, which a year or two down the road, we lose control over potentially in the city of Waukegan. The liquor license goes to the franchisee, not the Armanetti's, an important point when it comes to control. that the value of the license would be diminished with those who hold it now. It will have a negative impact on their business, especially those who have invested in their operations like the Superfresh has. So I vote no. Thank you.
Alderman Rivera.
I vote no as well, and, you know, what always concerns me is when a franchisee, it's the contract that bothers me. You know, here's a perfect example, you know, Park City. That was a Armanetti's. They're no longer there. I go there, and I go in that store, and I see, it's terrible. I mean, it really is. And that's what concerns me with this situation, where they'll set up shop, 3 years, whatever, I don't know what the contract's going to be for, and then they take off. So, you know, that's what concerns me. And another thing is, when you were mayor, you know, with all due respect, you talk about, you know, economic development and how all of us want economic development. When there was an opportunity with the legislative body when they were talking about the casino, that would have been a tremendous economic development. But no, you stated you wouldn't give a liquor license. So something like this, to me, I just can't see a liquor store being an anchor of a shopping mall. I mean, I don't see any. I've seen it. I haven't seen any liquor store that's going to serve as an anchor. What does an anchor mean to you? What does the word anchor mean to you? Anchor means something solid, somebody that's going to be around for a while. That's what anchor means to me for other businesses. And I haven't seen that, to be honest with you, in any other little, you know, these plazas. I don't see a liquor store serving as an anchor. What I like to see is get me a Sears, get me, you know, something like that. I mean, we got to have higher standards. And to be honest with you, I don't see the higher standards in this on what we want for the city of Waukegan. And believe me, I'm for business. So my vote is no.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
I'd like to explain my vote also. I'm with Alderman Larson that originally I was more than happy to be in favor of this business. And I was actually kind of amazed over the past 2 weeks that we've held it over the number of calls I've gotten regarding this. I've gotten a call from one of the liquor stores in my area, and I understand his concerns about opening another liquor store. And I asked him, did it really affect his business? And he honestly said, no, it probably wouldn't affect his business at all. But the problem I've got is I've had a number of constituents call me and say they don't want another liquor store. They want, like Alderman Rivera has said, they want an electronics store, they want a clothing store, they want something in there other than a liquor store. And if you look in that area, as I drove through there, there are liquor stores there. There is accessible, yeah, I don't know, I don't believe Waukegan is a wine-drinking town. I'd love to believe that, but I really don't. So I'm sorry, but I understand your plea and I understand your desires, but my vote is no.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Figueroa.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
I need to explain my vote as well. It has been my concern, and I've spoken to the mayor and to the business owner, of putting another liquor store in that plaza. I'm for businesses as well as everyone else is in this community, but my concern is putting a liquor store where there's already 3 establishments that you can go and buy alcohol. That's my concern. Right in 1 block vicinity, you can get alcohol. Lewis Produce, you can go to Jester's across the street, you can go to Glen Flora Liquors and get whatever you would desire to drink. And I believe that we have enough liquor licenses in the city of Waukegan. I don't have people coming to me and asking me, Alderman, I think we should get more liquor establishments here in the city of Waukegan. No, they're asking me for other type businesses, especially women, and the mayor has stated this. They're looking for places that they can go and shop for items that their families may need, other than going to Gurnee, Libertyville, places like that to spend their money. And there's money here in the city of Waukegan to spend on items other than alcohol. And I think we should do better for our community, lift our standards. Sure, we need revenue, but at what cost to our community? So my vote would be no.
Alderman Tempest.
I'd like to speak in regards to this. I started out probably, the mayor asked me, probably about 80%, 90% saying no. Did my homework as to the past history in that area. Liquor store we had before, Franklin Food had one before, Cub Food. And I know the mayor's intentions are good, is trying to bring an up-class type. I had difficulty because my dear friends at Super Fresh have a liquor store in there, and they have a fine liquor store. But I figured, well, they didn't say anything when they got a liquor license on a Franklin Food, and Cub Food had one. We had a liquor store there before. I don't want to discourage the mayor in his efforts to bring business into Waukegan, even if it's a high-class liquor store. And to that, I commend you, Mayor, for working hard to bring something in. But don't give up. We win some, we lose some, and it's not the end of the world. I'm sure they got the message, and they're going to try and bring in some other item maybe in that plaza for an anchor, a little higher-class store if we can. I will vote aye, but I know you worked hard at trying to bring this in, and we have a council here. We have a lot of thought. We have 9 people that bring their views before the public and before this body. And I think it's good to have checks and balances in government. That makes a better, stronger Waukegan in the long run. But in the long run, we can't give up. We've got to continue to work to make this a better Waukegan. And I give you that challenge, Mayor. Keep working, Mayor. Keep working hard. I know you are. Thank you very much.
Okay, the nays have it, and the motion fails. Okay, under item 9, communications, we have some comments by Corporation Counsel.
Yeah, my remarks will kind of blur over from communications into into recommended actions by Corporation Counsel. I just want to touch upon some things that have come up in some of our public meetings. One has been the concern about a business in town that allegedly sold a stolen gun to somebody. It's been mentioned several times in public comments. My office looked into that, and indeed, it did sell a stolen gun. The business tells me that, believe it or not, there is no mechanism in place, no state, local, or national database list of serial numbers of stolen weapons. Hard to believe, but that's what they tell me. And I have no reason to think that they're not telling me the truth, so I'm looking into it. But that apparently is what they're saying, is that there is no way they could ascertain this was a stolen gun, that someone came in to sell it to them, had a picture ID, and they bought it in good faith thinking it was the gun of the person who sold it to them. And then they turned around and sold it to a customer. So, as I say, I'm looking into that. I'll report back to you in 2 weeks as to whether what I've been told is in fact the case. And if it is, I think this council might want to look into some local tough gun sale regulation. I don't know what we can do in this regard, but I think we can put our heads together a little bit and come up with something. By the way, the customer in question will be getting a refund for the purchase price of that gun. At the next meeting, I hope to have in your packets some ordinances that are of urgency and communicated to me to be of urgency. I'll be meeting with Corporation Counsel in Chicago hopefully next week on the local hiring ordinance that they have in place, and I'm hoping to have in your packet at the next meeting a version of a local hiring ordinance that is ready for serious debate and perhaps action. I will also have for you, at the mayor's request, a draft of what's called a zoning overlay district ordinance. And what this ordinance does, it allows residents of a neighborhood to petition the city to form a zoning overlay district in their neighborhood to reduce or prevent the renting of single-family homes. There is a model ordinance passed by the city of East Lansing, which is in my possession, and we are going to be reviewing that ordinance. We're going to be checking with East Lansing about whether there's been any legal challenges to it, and I'll have something for your consideration, at least in the discussion stage, hopefully 2 weeks from tonight. Also, I've been asked to look into a situation here in Waukegan that we share with almost all cities across the country, and that is vacant foreclosed properties. We have homes in all of our neighborhoods, basically, now that are being foreclosed. The banks who take them over are oftentimes neglecting them. Grass grows, the places fall into a dilapidated state, they become neighborhood problems, and I've been asked by the council to come up with something. So I'll be having a plan for your consideration next meeting, modeled after the town litigation program, which compelled dozens upon dozens of absentee property owners to clean up their dilapidated buildings, bring them up to code, or be held in contempt of court. It's a hardball strategy. The city is authorized by that statute to use it as well as private parties. And I think when it comes to banks, out-of-state banks, out-of-town banks, disrespecting our neighborhoods by letting their properties go to seed, I suggest we play hardball with them. My office will handle these cases. There won't be any additional expense to the city except for filing costs. And so I'll have a plan for you next session for us to talk about. Lastly, one thing I won't have for you is a new rodeo circus ordinance, because while I know I'm supposed to do that and I'm working on it, this is the set of rules for the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association. Far cry from the Old West. This is, I don't know how many, 280 pages of rules. And I don't think we want a 280-page ordinance, so I'll be sifting through this and eventually coming up with a handful of regulations that we do need to think about. So, but that'll take me more than 2 weeks.
Yeah, I contacted the PRCA and asked them to send us some information. I spoke with their, some of their upper management people, too, about rules regarding preparation of rodeo sites, sanctioning, having veterinarians and medical personnel present, all manner of things that need to be taken into account before we will allow any rodeos to be held in this city, at any location by anyone. So that's going to take probably several months to go through all of this. Under new business, and
Your Honor, Your Honor,
I'm sorry, Alderman Cunningham.
Before we go on, I guess I'm a little disturbed by Corporation Counsel's report on this stolen gun situation. I guess the question I would like to ask, serial numbers are registered. Serial numbers, I think, are registered. I guess, I don't know. Per you, they said they're not. But I'm thinking, like, I've been in the car business for a long time. If a vehicle is stolen, I report it stolen to the police. That goes into a bank of reported stolen cars. Right. Now, if that car is hit, I mean, if a hit comes out, police officer pulls someone's over, and that vehicle comes up under their registry as stolen. That's the way that works. If a gun is stolen, taken, and whatever, and is reported to the authorities, typically now that gun number goes in a data bank of reported stolen guns. So when it goes to the pawn shop, it goes to the whatever shop, there has to be something they can and it comes up and says, boom, this item has reported stolen, call the police. The gun people put more lobbyists out on Springfield, City Hall, wherever. You cannot tell me if the car business does it, the gun people have to do it. And if they're not doing it, then I, as an owner of a gun going by, I could be subject to be buying any stolen weapon, and nothing is going to happen. I guess I don't get that. I'm a little lost on that aspects right there. There has to be a registry somewhere. And if not, maybe artists sound like you're shaking your head. Whoever shoots guns, I don't shoot guns, so I don't know.
Go ahead, Chief, please.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Alderman, to answer your question, if I could try, in many cases, what happens is that if a gun is stolen from another municipality, or if a gun is had been a property of a family for years and years and years, and they may not have that serial number for that gun, and say, for instance, Highland Park Police takes the report, they don't have that. They enter it in with as much information as possible, but if that precise serial number for that item isn't on the report, then it can't be entered into a data bank. So we don't have enough, a lot of times law enforcement doesn't have enough information to categorize that.
Chief, and if it's not reported stolen, it wouldn't be in there either.
That's correct, sir.
So, just so I'm clear, I'm a little, I don't own a gun, don't know how to use a gun, so I'm very lost. I'm just dumb to the fact. If it was never reported stolen, and if the information entered into this data bank is not, correct or enough information to say this is a stolen weapon, we'll never know.
That's correct.
But there is something that comes up where you guys can, it goes in a registry somewhere.
That's correct, if we have that information.
If you have, all right, all right, then, thanks. That kind of clears things up for me.
Yes, Corporation Counsel.
Chief, are you saying that this registry of stolen weapons with serial numbers, is that a state registry, a national registry, a local registry? Because this business basically just told me no such thing.
Well, we can run what they call an F-tip through the Alcohol and Tobacco and Firearms, where if it has been stolen and the information on the gun is correct and the serial number is correct, then that data is held by Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, and we can do what they call an F-tip and locate the information on how that gun was stolen, where it was stolen, or how it was put into illegal hands. What we find is a lot of times is that guns are passed down from family members to family members, granddad to dad to son, and no one has kept a record of that firearm.
I understand that. In terms of the ATF check, is that something only the police can do? Can a gun shop do that?
No, sir. That
So the gun shop would have not been able to do that ATF check?
No, sir.
I have one more question.
Alderman Rivera.
The policy of all these gun stores, anyone that sells guns, what is their requirement? Are they required to register those guns with the city, with the municipality?
No, sir. That would vary from state to state. But
can we implement that policy in the city of Waukegan? So this way a stolen gun can't be sold?
Well, we're working with corporate counsel to look at crafting some legislation for this council to decide upon.
Thank you, Chief.
You're welcome.
Appreciate your insight onto that. Okay. Anything further, Corporation Counsel? Corporation Counsel is set. Under item 10, new business, item A, approved payroll dated January 13th, 2010, the amount of $1,449,218.89. Motion by Alderman Needham, seconded by Alderman Tempest. Roll call, please.
Alderman Needham.
Aye.
Alderman Larson. Aye. Alderman Rivera. Aye. Alderman Cunningham. Aye. Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Figueroa.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom. Aye. Alderman Tempest.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Item B, approve bills dated January 15, 2010, the amount of $2,459,071.85. Motion by Alderman Needham, seconded by Alderman Tempest.
Alderman Needham.
Aye.
Alderman Larson.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Figueroa.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Ayes have it. Thank you. A motion to receive the monthly report from the Collector's Office for the month of December 2009 by Alderman Needham, seconded by Alderman Tempest. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. We'll go to Alderman's time. Wayne, if you could call them off by name, and then following that, we will go into executive session, and I'll announce what for.
It starts with
after
Alderman Needham.
Thank you. I'm going to make a couple comments. I did not speak on the vote for the liquor license, but like several of the other aldermen, I did receive and make phone calls. I did visit people in regards to this issue. Pretty fair to say that I don't think there's one of us up here that's not pro-business. We'd be nuts not to be. I think that's an obvious. And there's a lot of different reasons why this was turned down. For me, personally, I had to look at the net gain. And after studying it, looking at the surrounding market, you know, where was our net gain? Where was the increase? Maybe there would have been a blip with someone getting rent paid, initial license fees. But I truly believe right now we're in a finite market, and our market is where it is right now. And any increase, I don't think that would have been there. I think we would have cannibalized the people who are struggling to make it out there right now, and I didn't see a win-win for anyone. Also informally spoke with some of our police officers who really didn't see a benefit either as far as what it would do for the city or for that neighborhood. The argument, and I try to look at all of them, you know, people that live in Wisconsin coming through Waukegan to buy liquor, to me, that's laughable. And to be an anchor tenant, how many malls do we have that you know of that a liquor store is an anchor tenant? I understand the wants and needs of the business owners to fill that space. But as a few of the aldermen said, I think we can do better than that, and we're just going to have to keep our nose to the grindstone. I do appreciate the mayor being proactive, trying to bring businesses in, but I just didn't see this one working. So those are my comments.
Alderman Larson.
Thank you. Just a reminder, a little over a month from now, March 6th, is the annual Waukegan Athletic Club booster function / fundraiser. It's a great time. It's going to be once again at the Lake County Sports Center on Oakwood Avenue. Again, it's Saturday evening, March 6th. Put it on your calendar and support the Waukegan High School booster programs. They do a great job helping the kids in the sports and the activities. Buy those things that this school needs to support to help maintain a high level of competition and for our kids. They do a really great job, and it's a fun event. I mean, silent auction items. You see people that you might have gone to high school with, in my case, but come on out for a good cause. Again, March 6th, Saturday. We're going to have a Public Safety Committee meeting next Monday, and one of the things that we've been talking about for the last few months is we've been involved in looking for requests for proposals on our alarm monitoring services, and the initial reports are very favorable. It might take us a couple weeks to compile it and do final interviews, et cetera, but it looks like that program is going to benefit Waukegan and its business owners as hoped for. So be on the lookout for that. That's all.
Alderman Rivera.
Thank you. I received a letter from Chief Artis Yancey commending the Neighborhood Watch block captain in my ward. They've done a very good job in squelching some burglaries, home burglaries, and that's what it takes, people's cooperation. Make phone calls, talk to each other, and it's definitely working. So we need definitely more participation for this. That's a very nice letter, Chief. Thank you. Also, I received a letter from the mayor, I think all of us did, in regards to the Illinois Housing Development Authority, IDA, and of their notice of application under the rental housing support program. And I believe this is through Lake County. And obviously, you know, I wanted some information, and so I made a phone call and set up an appointment to talk with Mr. Steve Silverman. Because I wanted to know what he felt about this. You know, and I really didn't have that much information, so I did my, you know, research, and I know there were some questions. You know, would this be good for us? You know, I don't think so, according to, you know, what some of the questions were brought up, that the WHA took a look at this last year. It wasn't a good fit for this agency. You know, for a second, we had just gotten a non-for-profit going and was not ready to apply for it, but they do have it now. No other housing authority in the Lake County applied for the grant. This grant was applied by Lake County. Lake County Board decided to apply, which they did. There's no guarantee that Lake County will get, you know, any funding for this. And the letter only requests support for Lake County. The units could be anywhere in the county. What else? It's not sure how the program will be administered. So, you know, we're not sure how our local agency is going to, you know, administer. So there's some questions, you know, on this, lots of questions. So as far as responding to the mayor on this, I did my research, so I don't think it'll be good for us. But that's just my comment on it.
I echo that.
Very well, thank you. That is all.
Alderman Cunningham.
Yes, to a couple things. One, I want to thank Public Works for their, you know, for a great job with the snow removal. I mean, for the amount of snow that we received and the way it was falling. And I don't know about other wards, but I know in my ward we have some people really want to move their cars in a timely fashion, so worked around that. But overall, I think Public Works did a great job considering some of the staff problems that they had. So kudos to Tom and his team. Second, I attended funeral services for, I think, Larry, a person that you work with over the years, a principal, Billy Greer, passed, and his services was well received by, I saw Mr. Odorizzi, my principal. Mr. O was there, former Mayor High was there, and Mr. Al Patterson, a lot of people that I went to school with and things like that, and kind of watch a group of us grow up and become productive citizens in our society. So Mr. Greer, to Andrea and Billy the fourth, you know, I sent our condolences from the mayor, the city council, and the city of Waukegan for the things that they did. Don't know if anyone else know Yule, better known as Yule to the city of Waukegan. Yule succumbed, I think it was either yesterday or not by Monday. He's Alderman Copeland's nephew. Yule worked for the city, gosh, I don't know how many years, Larry? 15, 20 years? Yule worked a long time for the city of Waukegan. So to the Copeland family, let your prayers go out to them. And there's one more person that I don't know if many of you know, the Bates, Mr. Robert Bates, as part of the Handy family. died recently. So great soldiers, particularly in the First Ward. And just want to send a hearty condolences to their family. And as always, I send that from the mayor, city council, and the city of Waukegan. Thank you.
Alderman Conken.
Thank you. Just like to remind everybody that the Waukegan Park District has their Winterfest this Saturday, January 23rd, from noon to 3. Free activities for all the people in the Park District. And I'd also like to mention that our second ward hero, Mr. Francisco Reyes, has been contacted by the Carnegie Heroes Foundation, and they're going to contact him, ask him about what happened when he rescued the 2 people from the fire last August, and hopefully things will go well and he'll be commemorated by them, and I hope to bring good news about that later. Thank you.
Alderman Moiseo.
2 things. January 25th, we'll have an Economic Development Committee meeting at 5:30. I had to look up the committee members because we haven't had one yet. It's myself, Alderman Conken, Alderman Needham, Alderman Larson, and Alderman Cunningham. We should be getting an agenda from Robin the next couple of days on what we will be in that committee. And 2 things. My condolences also to Billy Greer, but also John Reinhardt passed away also. 2 teachers, administrators, educators that were very dedicated to Waukegan. I went to East, and both these gentlemen were at West, but they were very dedicated to Waukegan. A quick story about Mr. Greer. When my family lived over on Elmwood Avenue, our house got broken into, and some things were taken. And Mr. Greer, being the principal that he was, noticed that a high school student had some checks in his back pocket. Well, he knew no high school student back then had a checking account, so he hauled them into the office and said, "Give me the checks." And of course, he knew my mother and father, so he called up my mom and dad and said, "Was your house broken into?" And they said, "Yes, the police are here dusting for fingerprints right now." He said, "You don't need to do that. The young man's in my office right now. Send him over here." So that just goes to show you that, but we miss that so much in Waukegan District 60 now. The connection to the community, the people that know the families, that know the people, we don't have that anymore. I wish we could get it back. I doubt we ever will. I'm not going to get in my opinion on that, but because I'll probably be called grandstanding by some school board members, but that's okay. But that's all I have. Thank you.
Alderman Figueroa.
Thank you. Yesterday, Youth Conservation Corps of Waukegan of Lake County had a Martin Luther King Volunteer Day. We had over 230 volunteers working at about 30 sites throughout Lake County, donating about over 3,000 hours. And we had people as far away as, I wish I could remember the name of the college, but it was Green Bay, Wisconsin, so a small private college. We had a lot of young people volunteering, and it looked great. It was really great to have that many people and come into Waukegan, donate their time for some worthy causes. The theme was a day on, not a day off, just to instill in the young people that the legacy that was Martin Luther King for America and the values that he proposed. A lot of volunteers, 230. It's more than about 30 more than last year. So that's it, Your Honor.
Alderman Newsom. Alderman Tempest.
Yes, thank you. I just want to take time to thank the people in the 6th Ward that took time to put holiday lights out and Christmas decorations. And I hate to make the other wards look bad, but I really think the 6th Ward did the best job, especially as I drove around and checked. I mean, they really look nice, but I remind them Valentine's Day is coming up pretty soon, and maybe we ought to start working on getting those lights down now. But they were beautiful, and they did a great job, and it did lift the spirits. But again, we did the best. Thank you.
Yeah, we did. You can't.
Motion to go to executive.
Motion by Alderman Moiseo, seconded by Alderman Figueroa to go into executive session for the following items: settlement of a workers' comp, building zoning claim, and property acquisition. Roll call.
Alderman Needham. Alderman Larson. Alderman Rivera. Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken. Alderman Moiseo. Alderman Figueroa. Alderman Newsom. Alderman Tempest.
Thanks, everybody, for coming tonight, and we look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.
Say, Russ? Did Russ leave?
Wendy, Wendy, Wendy. Wendy. Wendy.
I'm not going to hook back up, Mayor. Not to the end.
Round Lake, I think he moved out. He married that smart girl. Yeah.
We have a motion by Alderman Needham, seconded by Alderman Moiseo to go back into regular session. All in favor? Motion to adjourn
Roll
by
call.
Alderman
Roll
Moiseo,
call.
seconded.
Roll call.
Oh, okay, roll call.
Alderman
sorry.
Needham. Alderman Larson. Alderman Rivera. Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken. Alderman Moiseo. Alderman Figueroa. Alderman Newsom. Alderman Tempest.
Oh, President accounted for. Alderman Tempest is re-entering the room. Motion to adjourn by Alderman Needham, seconded by Alderman Cunningham. All in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you.